Hello friends, let's get right into this box from Create and Inkspire. Here we have a sweet little treat that Courtney always throws in with some fun facts. This month it's gummy bears, which I really love. And now onto the contents. What we have is a themed mix, Halloween themed mix of from Trinity Stamps, a 3x4 haunted greeting stamp set, a 4x6 haunted stamp set, which Courtney designed herself, 3D foam squares, an easy light by Pear Blossom Press, 2 A-size spiderweb patterns, a sheet of vellum, 2 sheets of the Nina Solar White 80-pound classic crest cardstock, and 2 pieces of very heavy black cardstock. It doesn't say how heavy, but I'm guessing at least 120 pounds. And there you have the kit. Here I'm showing you foil from the HH Sign Supply Company I found through a Facebook group called Foiling Snobs, which they're really not snobs, but they're very picky about their foil. And the design is called Confetti, and I thought it would be great to use on this white A2 spiderweb card. I am using my Mink machine that I had on setting 1 and a file folder as my carrier sheet. I probably should have moved the setting up to at least 2 because I did have to run that through twice, but here's the reveal and I think it looks really cool. Purple is my favorite color. I may be a little biased, but I really like that sparkle. Here I use the Tim Holtz distressed frame die to cut out the middle of that card, as I decided I'm going to make it into a shaker card for the black cardstock. And what I did after I cut that out is I'm going to use my frame, as you see, as a template, or a placement I should say, to put in the middle of my card, so that way it's centered. And then after I do that, I'm just going to adhere that down. I believe I used the repositionable Tombow Mono adhesive there. And once I get that done, I'm going to stamp out a sentiment. I'm going to be using the Dusty Concord Oxide, again by Tim Holtz and Ranger. And the sentiment I chose to use is "Have a Spooktacular Day." I also decided that I was going to add spider webs around the card front too. Using my stamping platform, which helps me to align everything and get a good crisp image. And you could see me take my hand and put it over the stamps before I stamped, and that's because they're new and it helps to remove that tackiness or stickiness. That is been a trick I've witnessed on a few videos. I guess it helps the image to really stamp out a nice crisp image. Now I did do this one twice. However, when I did it the second time, I think I pushed down just a little too hard and it kind of smeared my image, because this is a glossy cardstock. So I just continue to move that excuse me, the spider web around the card, and I did use my Brutus Monroe Squeaky Clean cleaner to clean off the stamps so that I didn't have too much residual on there when I'm placing it. However, when I do stamp the third spider web, I do a technique what's called stamp off, and that's just using the residual ink on there, and I thought there was plenty because it turned out just fine. Now you may notice that I am stamping onto the black cardstock, but that will soon be covered with a shaker, so therefore it's not really going to matter, as you won't even see it. Now let's get to the shaker. I am going to use my 1/4 inch very sticky score tape to place around the entire frame. If you've never used score tape before, just know that it has zero forgiveness. And if you want any wiggle room when you're using it, then I would recommend using some liquid glue on top of that after you peel off the release paper. So after doing that, I'm going to then place down a piece of acetate that I've actually saved from a package right onto my frame. And in keeping with trying to use everything that came with the kit, I decided I was going to use those 3D foam squares, and I did place them all around the entire frame, and about halfway through I thought, well, that probably wasn't a good idea, because my embellishments may fall through them since I didn't butt them up really nice and close together. And it did end up turning out fine in the end, but here you'll see me pointing to that little problem there. Now, what I didn't show you is that I took an anti-static tool and put that all around the inside so that I can remove some of that static that sometimes the acetate and the sequins hold, as well as some of the sticky from the stickers. Now I did went ahead and put in the embellishments and added some silver confetti by Studio Katia. I'm trying to be a little picky about what I'm putting inside this. I thought the spiders would be perfect since there are spider webs all behind it. And I'm just making sure that I do get several of these spiders. And there you have it. There's the shaker card. And of course, I love shakers, so who can stop shaking those shaker cards? Now, I use that score tape again to adhere it to my card front. And I believe that one actually happened to be Score Tape brand. I think, I'm not positive, but nope, it's not. So I bought that from Amazon, and I will link that down below, as well as a link to Create an Inkspire in case you have never heard of them. And Courtney, who created this company, it's still fairly new. I believe this is the third kit that's come out, and she already has the kit ready for October, and I can't wait to get my hands on that. But for $3.99, if you'd like to join, she has great tutorials and other inspiration on her site, as well as you will receive a 10% discount on each kit every month, plus possible future sales. So I would highly advise you to check that out. Her site is just full of great card makers and lots more inspiration. And I'm just going to finish this card up here so that we can move on to the next. I thought I had edited this down, but apparently I did not. I'm still learning all this editing stuff. Actually, to be honest with you, it's the bane of my videos. I seem to really struggle with it no matter what I do. But in any event, here we are, and my shaker card is now finished. Yay! All right, so for my second card, I'm going to use that Nina 80-pound paper and create a little scene. I use my Misty stamping platform again, and here's a little side note. I never actually heard of a Misty stamping platform or any type of platform until this past year. I know, crazy, right? I've been a card maker for many, many years, and where has this been all my life? So after watching many card making videos with, I believe, 100% of them using some sort of stamping platform, excuse me, I had to save up my money and really think about whether or not I wanted to make this investment, because yes, it is an investment because they are not exactly cheap. But because I was late to the game of buying a stamping platform, Petunia actually came out with a brand new one, and I was able to purchase that. Now back to my card, and as you see, I stamped out the cauldron and placed a mask over it, and then I placed the broom down so that I could place the witch's hat. Confession, this is actually my second attempt to this card, because sometimes it's so hard to remember how to layer your images and which to mask off, right? So I had to turn my card over and do it again, and I will end up flipping the card over for you to see, although it might be hard to tell because I'm not really up close, but you might see that broomstick image on the cauldron from that first time. And here I am trying to get the mask off so that we can do the peel and reveal. And I do think it turned out very cute. See, here I flip it over, bad, and good. Now I'm going to take out some Spectrum Noir markers. However, I did not leave in the coloring because I don't really like to color all that much. Even though I love the look of coloring, I'm very slow, and it's just you far better people out there to watch than me. And the sentiment that I chose to put on this particular card is have a witchin' good Halloween. And little quick note is I could not find my stamps to remember what stamp I used. I searched everywhere and I moved them, and I had moved them somewhere that I normally would not move them, but it took me about 20 minutes to find those stamp sets. Now I use that very thick cardstock again to use, or for a mat. And I've had this trimmer for a very long time. I don't know if you guys experience the same thing, but I must be doing something wrong because I have such a difficult time cutting it straight, no matter what I do to try to line that up. It's a pretty new blade as well. However, when you cut a lot of cardstock, I guess it does dull very quickly. So the first piece did not work out well. I had to go to the second piece, and that one worked out much better. And speaking of slicers, I have also seen a lot of crafters use the tonic trimmer, I believe it's called. Not a trimmer, like a guillotine. And I really like that. I have one. It's a generic one, but it works for now. However, I might be putting that on my Christmas wish list. Now, the border that I did end up with is probably about an 1/8 inch border. Mounted it to my card base, and there you have it. My 2 cards that I did with this particular kit. I have many more that I made, not shown, but I'll show you some close-ups of these 2. And thanks for watching, and I'd love it if you would subscribe to my channel and like this video. I appreciate, oh, I guess I also did add some sequins to the outside. Whoops, I'm trying to end up this video and I'm not even done. So, excuse me. Here I am adding those sequins, but I hope you have enjoyed, excuse me, again. I hope you have enjoyed this video, as I'm still learning and growing, and I hope that you would also share this video with some friends. And again, like and subscribe, ring the bell if you'd like to get some notifications. I will be putting more videos up coming very soon, but like I told you earlier, editing has been a little difficult for me. I don't have the best equipment, not that I need it, just learning curve here. So thank you. I'll just end this right here and put some music. Have a great and blessed day.